Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be back this Thursday. There's been a lot of things happening in the news that I want to get to and discuss. But first and foremost, I just want to thank all of you who are currently viewing live or who will be viewing this later. Breaking the Chains is humbled and honored to begin this live streaming broadcast, this weekly discussion that we're going to be having and talking about the dangers of sex trafficking here in our area, as well as potentially the areas that you're streaming in from. So first and foremost, we'll do a little housekeeping, and some of that housekeeping that we like to talk about is some of the local events that are happening and some of the things that you can help with or get involved or attend to learn a little bit more about human trafficking. And as always, I want to remind you that if you have an event that you would like us to highlight that has to do with any type of human trafficking, please email us at info, I-N-F-O, at btcfresno.org. So first and foremost, we want to talk about this very next week, Tuesday, July the 26th, 6 p.m. We have Human Trafficking 101. This is hosted by the Central Valley Justice Coalition, who by far is one of the foremost authorities on human trafficking here in our area and abroad. They are the forerunners, actually the first human trafficking organization that I know of to be established and to begin the groundbreaking work that's going on currently here in Fresno. And they do a phenomenal job in educating. They talk about what human trafficking is, the different areas of human trafficking, and how you can get involved. And also one of my favorites, red flag indicators, which if you know another person on the face of this earth, this is a good class for you, because the fact of the matter is human trafficking can affect anyone at any place, in any social status, at any time. So again, that is this next Tuesday, July the 26th at 6 p.m. And it's my understanding that if you want an actual certificate, which is great to show that you are certified and you know all about human trafficking, that you need to register by the 25th. And you can contact us at info@btcfresno.org. You can comment on our Facebook page, or you can Google them at Central Valley Justice Coalition right here in Fresno to get more information. Another event that we'd like to spotlight is our very own grand opening of Covenant House. Yay! We are so excited to finally have the doors open on the safe house. And to calm any fears, I'm going to let you know right now, no, nobody's going to the safe house. However, this ceremony is going to be wonderful nonetheless. It's an amazing celebration of this milestone. We're going to be honoring some very special donors and supporters, as well as telling you and showing you a little bit of what we're doing there on a day-to-day basis there in Covenant House, as well as showing you some video clips and clips of what the girls do on a day-to-day. They are excited. They really want to be able to share this. This was their idea, to share this with you all. So I really hope that you will continue to support them, that you will come out and celebrate with us. Again, there's going to be plenty of pasta. There's going to be a dessert auction, and registration is relatively inexpensive. We really cut all the costs. We just want to cover the cost of pasta. So go directly to our Facebook page or to our website, www.btcfresno.org, and register today. Again, we want to see you there because it's all of your community support that has made this possible. So you're all invited. Again, another really fun event that we are super excited about that we attended last year and just had a ton of fun is the Beauty for Ashes Zumbathon. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful way to spread awareness and to have a lot of fun. Clint Olivier, I believe, will be there this year and was also with us last year. And it's going to be September the 17th at noon. And so for more information about that or any event that we discuss here, you can contact us at info@btcfresno.org. You can Google Beauty for Ashes, and we'll be happy to give you more information. And any event that we ever talk about or is shared with us, you can always find on our Facebook page. So go ahead and scroll through there and learn some more. Again, Zumbathon is so much fun, and I really have to say, not to play favorites, but because of the interaction, that had to be one of my favorite events by far. And I can't wait to work it out again this year because we'll be there as well. Another event that is just wonderful, the artistic side of this next event will leave you in awe, truly, is Made for Them's Art of Freedom. We went to the Fight for Fashion this year, and we will be there next year, as well as the Art of Freedom. And we have to say that I have not been to a more moving event, and that's even my own events. Made for Them does a phenomenal job of really bringing together all the components of human trafficking and bringing it to life for you. It's an amazing opportunity to support a wonderful organization that provides direct services to victims of sex trafficking, as well as help support their Mercy Street outreach, where they're out going face to face with these girls and letting them know that there is hope, that there is services available to them. And that event is September the 30th at 6 p.m. You can just type in Made for Them in your Google bar. It's going to pop right up for you, as well as go to our Facebook page or contact us at info@btcfresno.org. I know there's a lot of different things going on in the Valley, so I do want to encourage you to email us at info@btcfresno.org. We want to be able to highlight those each and every week so we can keep you in the loop as to what's going on. So moving right along, I want to talk about some of the issues that are in the news right now. There was an issue that came up that really was near and dear to me and really touched me, not in a good way. It actually really was reminiscent of my own situation, but at the same time was just completely heartbreaking. So if you haven't heard about it, it is the Cincinnati woman who was just convicted and sentenced to 51 years in life for trafficking her 11-year-old daughter for heroin. I don't share this with you to shock and awe you. I share this with you so that you can see the reality of human trafficking here domestically. This is not just a bad story. This is not something that is happening strictly on the streets. A lot of times we feel that this is happening in the case of runaways, which it is. That's the biggest area that we do see. But I want to show you with 3 different stories today that I do have for you that are in local headlines of 3 different aspects of sex trafficking that is real. Just to get the discussion started, I mean, my stomach absolutely turned to see the mother do this to her own child for drugs. And if there's any children, you probably shouldn't have them watching this right now because it is gruesome. I do want to just let you know that. But according to the reports that were given from the courtroom, it seems as though the girl was sodomized. Let me just read directly from them so I don't put anything into this. She was sodomized, raped, and forced to perform oral sex, and frequently even videotaped by Corcoran's drug dealer in his Camp Washington home. Wow. And so this was happening with multiple people, not only the drug dealer. I mean, as appalling as that is, like I said, that touches close to home for me. It's real. It's reality. Sex trafficking can really be happening in any and every area, you know, because I don't have permission and for the sake of anonymity. Okay, somebody's going to help me say that. For the sake of keeping victims anonymous. But you may have heard of the story of the young girl who was trafficked by her father, who was a pastor of a church. I mean, that's a good friend of mine, but I think that's one of the other stories that truly rocked me to the core, and I'm a survivor. You know, it just shows that there's really nobody that is not in the grasp of sex trafficking. Now, of course, we're going to say that typically, you know, more than 80% of the cases that we see, yes, are in, you know, from runaways and foster care and are popping up in the lives of children who do not have the structure, supervision, or really anybody with any type of love or caring for or accountability for these children. That's where this is happening. But the fact of the matter is, it's happening, and it can happen anywhere. So that's what I want to bring to light with that particular story. Again, you could probably Google that and get the rest of the information on it. But yeah, it's really sad, and it is reality. 2 of the other stories are local stories that I would like to applaud, and you've probably already heard about, but I want to touch down on, because again, the reality of this is it's real, and it's happening all around us. So just last week, we want to thank all of the Madera law enforcement, all of the NGOs who came alongside of law enforcement to help with a major human trafficking bust, sex trafficking specifically. They're out of Madera County. And from what I was told, there was as many as 30 men that were filmed coming and going from this residence. I mean, that is absolutely horrific. And I know that also from the information that I received, that these ladies were, a lot of them were being held by force, and their families were being threatened with violence and other things, and from death, and they were coming out of Central and South America. You know, it's just horrific. Again, it fits right into somebody without any type of accountability. You know, these are the people that somehow slip through the cracks. And so nobody's looking for them. Nobody's monitoring what's happening from them. And right in our own backyards, there are living, breathing nightmares occurring. And we need to get actively involved. So that's just another place where you're seeing some of our foreign nationals and those type of individuals who are being brought here under fraud, typically that's how that happens, and then being placed in a situation that is just completely unimaginable. One of my personal favorites was right here with our own Fresno Police Department. And this is probably one of your more violent scenarios, but also one of your atypical scenarios. So again, applaud to the Fresno Police Department and Chief Dyer, who have really went above and beyond in this fight against human trafficking. You know, I can obviously say personally that I just have so much admiration for their heart in this fight. You know, years ago, they were unaware and victims were seen as perpetrators. And to see this complete turnaround within law enforcement and how they are literally kicking in doors and bringing these girls out. And I have honestly witnessed that there is really no distance they won't go to help free these girls. It's my hat's off to you. Was the Operation Dog Track. So that was amazing. And there were 29 individuals, gang members, arrested. And what was just more impactful about that, and again, this was another situation that was hit really close to home for me, was that according to Chief Jerry Dyer, several of the leaders had each banked over 1.5 million each, not all together, each had made more than $1.5 million a year from the sex trafficking. Can you even imagine? That wasn't coming from just one or two girls. You know, I often tell my children, and when we go into like Walmart, I love the board they have with all the missing and exploited children, to pray over that board. I often stop and they'll go ahead of me to go look at the sales, and I'll call them back and I'll just say, let me know if you see anybody you know. And it may seem crazy, but it only takes a second. And chances are these are children they're going to see, not just children that I'm going to see. Because a lot of times these missing posters are coming out of the Department of Social Services, not just family members, where a lot of times they are, but these children are not underneath a bridge somewhere under 10 pounds of dirt, God forbid. They're stuck in the world of sex trafficking. They're stuck in a world here in New York, in Florida, Texas, Dallas, Houston. They're all over the place. They're hiding in plain sight. Well, if we will just take the time to go to classes like the Human Trafficking 101 class, learn the red flags, learn these signs, we can begin to really impact our community and hopefully bring some of these children home. But going back to this is, I love how he said that out of 29 of those individuals, out of 30 individuals that they sought, 31, 29 were taken in. That's awesome. What a wonderful track record. What great intel on that. And those are 29 people who will not be victimizing children in our community any longer, or at least at this time. And I'm really excited about that. Also, he said that they caught plans for 5 shootings. You know, I'm just going to put this out there. You know, I know that law enforcement has been under attack for some of the shootings, and I am not even going to sit back and begin to analyze or judge or give my opinion on any of that. But I will say this: 5 shootings, 5 deaths were stopped. So often we jump to the situation that's in our face. We jump to a situation where somebody is killed, but we don't think about the lives that were saved. How often they pull over gang members with 3 shotguns and 2 pounds of dope in the back and just saved countless lives. How many of our children are still playing safely in their front yard today? Oh, I'm going to have to end this soapbox, but because of the lives that they've saved that we're not even aware of. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch, to be able to be a part of this, to watch these operations, and to know that here in 2016, so many different law enforcement, nonprofit organizations, churches, community members are rallying together to really take back our streets, to rescue our children, to rescue our women, and to begin to help them restore and rebuild lives. So again, I wanted to share those 3 stories with you. I wanted to bring a little bit of reality to what sex trafficking is looking like here, and that it is happening. I mean, you open up the headlines and you are going to see it. Now on to a little bit more education. Some of the things that I want to talk about that's going to prevent some of these issues that we've just seen, you can find on the Polaris website. Polaris is one of my favorite sites to go to stay up to date on local legislation, local policies, and things that are in the works. Just like voting for a president, regardless if you're Trump or Hillary, right, or neither, it's so important that we stay actively involved in the laws and the policies that are going on in and around us every day here in our communities, in our state, and in this nation. These are the policies, these are the foundations that really will move us in the direction that we want to go. So, of course, human trafficking, or sex trafficking specifically, is the policies that I fight for, that I was called to enact and use my voice for. And so one of the ones that I'm really excited about, and that I've signed my petition, I'd like you to sign yours. At the end of this broadcast, you will be able to go into the comment sections, and I'm going to post the link, so it's real easy. You just click it. You'll go on and see some of the policies we're about to talk about. You can sign the petition. You can get involved. We need to get these policies in front of Congress, and we need to begin to make changes. And these policies that I'm about to talk to you about are really important because they are going to allow some of the services that are currently being offered, like through our Fresno County EOC and other places like that, to continue to be funded, which is so important. So often we build up all this momentum, and an issue becomes a hot button issue, and a lot of people rally around it, and then somewhere in the wayside, 5 or 10 years down the road, the momentum dies off, money begins to be allocated in other areas, and people lose critical services that they need. And we don't want to see this happen. As well as we'd like to see the services that are being developed and that have been developed become more defined to more defined to help more people in the realm of human trafficking. And one of these is the Runaway Homeless Youth and Trafficking Prevention Act. That's a mouthful. And so I'm going to go ahead and read straight from here so I don't misinterpret anything and you guys get the exact information that the policy entails. So here's the overview. It's a critical way to combat human trafficking is, excuse me, let me restart that. So much for being live, right? A critical way to combat human trafficking is to invest in services that prevent the crime before it occurs. Wow, how true is that? Prevention is the key. Runaway and homeless youth, especially the LGBT community, are one of the nation's most vulnerable populations to human trafficking. Congress must continue the essential services provided under the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act to ensure that all youth have access to housing and other critical services that they need. We, together with Polaris, are urging Congress, and I will give you that link, to make passing the Runaway and Homeless Youth and Trafficking Prevention Act a top priority. And we encourage you to stand beside us. I mean, it's going to take you 2 seconds to click this link, to go under and to sign, to read more details, to bring it to your local city council member, your Senate, to begin to talk about this. Again, this makes everything that we do possible. Well, I'll go ahead and interject and say, because of the community here in Fresno, Breaking the Chains is able to do what we do. What we do is 100% funded by you. We do not get any federal funding, and that's not because the funding's not there. It's because it has not yet been defined well enough to meet our needs. So we need you to step in. We need you to help us pass policies and get behind acts like this so that we can begin to move as a nation to where we need to be to prevent and to help those who are enslaved to this day. The other policy that I like to talk about is the supply chain transparency. So the U.S. is the largest importer in the world, giving us a unique position to demand that companies effectively root out trafficking in their supply chains and ensure fair, humane conditions for workers. So this also talks about what you're going to learn a lot about at Human Trafficking 101. Again, we shine that light on sex trafficking, but these human trafficking, labor trafficking, it is all domestic servitude. It is all so closely entwined, and a lot of times they're both happening together. To be honest, I've heard dozens and dozens of domestic servitude and labor trafficking stories, and all too often I'm also watching the sex trafficking occur right with it. So we're definitely a big supporter of this as well. The Business Supply Chain Transparency on Trafficking and Slavery Act of 2015 would require companies to disclose the measures they're taking to address forced labor and human trafficking within their supply chains and empower everyday consumers to make informed decisions about the companies they choose to support. Sign the petition at the link that we're going to give you. Go there, sign that petition, go to the Human Trafficking 101 class this next Tuesday. Learn more about that. Learn what companies are helping to promote this horrible industry. Another one is prioritizing the Strategic Action Plan. So the Federal Strategic Action Plan on Services for Victims of Human Trafficking in the United States. It is a collaborative effort to align federal agencies' efforts to assist all victims of human trafficking. All victims. Oh, we're so in for this. As a living document, Polaris advocates to key federal agencies to expand and strengthen holistic and comprehensive care for victims of human trafficking. We also strive to ensure that agencies collaborate effectively, that federal resources are allocated fairly, and that trafficking activities are not duplicated. Okay, that is so important. We need to be not only working together, but we need to make sure that we're making the best of the time and what we're doing. Now, that's not to say that we need more beds. Breaking the chains, 5 little beds, is by far not meeting the needs of the trafficking population here in the central San Joaquin Valley. Not with 200 individuals per Fresno Police Department enslaved tonight right here as we sit and breathe right here in Fresno. However, we need this to come together. We need to collaboratively begin to work together as a community to begin to enact all the different areas that are needed. The specialized individualized counseling. There needs to be new mental health areas open to help those who are trafficked based on their mental health, which is a whole other issue that we'll be soon discussing. There's a whole population of sexually abused and trafficked individuals that are chained by their mental health issues. It's sad. It's sad as human beings, the depravity that we will go to and how we kick others when they're down and exploit their vulnerabilities. It's just sickening. So anyways, so what I'd like you to do again is whenever we're done, look down at the bottom, or when this is, you can come back onto this broadcast, stay on our YouTube channel, and I'm going to list in the comment section this link so that you can click onto it, so you can go and you can read, and you can figure out, you know, maybe you're being called to action. Maybe you're being called to do more than just sign a petition. That would be wonderful. Maybe you're called to step up and help in the area of domestic servitude, labor trafficking. There's so much going on in this field, and it's so new that there still are so many people that we need to come aboard, that we need to help, that we need to volunteer, that we need your voice, we need your signature to help get these laws and policies enacted. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for being faithful and for coming in to, or excuse me, tuning in and watching this. Week by week, we hope to grow, and what we're hoping is that we will begin to receive requests, so please spread the word, from social services departments, schools, elementary, high schools, whoever you are, wherever you are, We are happy to discuss specific topics and issues if that's bringing in other organizations alongside of us during our live streaming to talk about education, prevention, awareness. We want to do that. That's really important to us, and we just really hope that this dialogue and this conversation that we have begun to open here will create a dialogue and a conversation that will begin to echo through each and every home. As we shine this light on sex trafficking here in America, we begin to eliminate all the dark places, all the dark, ugly secrets that have been hiding for far too long. So I want to remind you, our grand opening of Covenant House and Pasta Social is August the 26th. Register today. Go on our Facebook page, go on our website. You know, celebrating and commemorating this amazing milestone is a wonderful opportunity. But more than that, it also helps these girls to see just how impactful their lives are. So often they felt like they don't matter. And it's times like these and like at this year's banquet where they are able to see just how much they truly are loved and how much we all care. So I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. And I want you all to remember that together we are breaking the chains. Thank you guys so much. And remember, if you have any questions, info@btcfresno.org. Have a great day.